Did I do it the right way? Okay. We're gonna go right in and jump right into things. I was doing some things for my new setup, so things are going to change with this look a little bit. But in the meantime, it's official, March the 31st. Let's go look at it. 2018 in Cardiff.
I'd like to announce the official news that myself and Joseph Parker will be fighting March 31st, and the location will be in Cardiff, Wales. It's a unification heavyweight championship fight. We all know what happened last time when I was in the unification championship fight. It was gruelling, it was interesting, and we both left the ring with masses of respect. These fights aren't easy because there's a lot on the line. So respect to Team Parker for taking the challenge. And you know me, I love this game. I'm looking forward to it. Training camp is underway, and before you know it, March 31st will be upon us. Stay tuned for more news, and I'll see you all soon. God bless.
So, here is the stadium that they're fighting in. Let's see if we can zoom in some. It seats 75,000. It's a little under 75,000. So, this is another big stadium fight for him. That's 3 straight. You know, with Klitschko, then Takam, you know, now Parker. Let's see if we can get a little inside image here. You know, it's a stadium. You know, another one. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. He is 20-0 with 20 KOs, 28 years old. Anthony A.J. Joshua, WBA Super World, IBO, and IBF. The most meaningful belt is that IBF, obviously. He's fighting Joseph Parker for that WBO title. He's 24-0 with 18 KOs. And let me start with this disclaimer, I guess. Listen, I understand that Anthony Joshua is very, very, very well loved. I'm a guy who at this point in time on YouTube have covered maybe about close to 1,000 fights. I know I've done thousands and thousands of videos, and we're talking, it's been hundreds of fights since 2010. You know, I've seen guys, you know, come and go, and I understand, you know, the power of the casual fan. Casual fans bring in a lot of money. Anthony Joshua has a lot of them, and I notice that they get really, really offended if you're critical or if you're not on their side. So it's one of those things like where, just like during those days of the Mayweather and the Pacquiao, you know, war and everything, and you know, the Mayweather McGregor, you couldn't tell the Conor McGregor fans nothing. The same thing with Anthony Joshua. Now, he is very well respected by me, you know, and by the boxing community, the hardcore boxing community. But however, there are flaws. You know, and we're in an age where people don't want, you know, like when it's your favorite fighter or your favorite anybody, you don't want to hear anything bad about him. That's common nature, right? But there are flaws. Joseph Parker can beat him. Is Joseph Parker perfect? Hell no. He's got his issues as well. Many think that, you know, his performance against Huey Fury wasn't that good. But remember, both of these guys are young, and both of these guys are pretty much, you can say, in their prime to an extent, right? Now, if Anthony Joshua beats Joseph Parker, I'm going to be like, yo, dude is really the fucking man. When it comes to Carlos Takam, yeah, he had some issues in getting Carlos Takam out of there. The stoppage was controversial. When it came to Klitschko, now Klitschko is great. You can't take that away from him. But Klitschko is still a 40-plus-year-old man. Now, I understand that people are going to be like, oh, this guy doesn't know anything and everything, but it's really, really likely that I know more than you about the situation. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just trying to give both boxers a fair shake, and I feel like this. It's going to be all about the chin. Joseph Parker doesn't fight off the back foot. Both of these guys are going to be coming forward. You know, we've heard the rumors to confirm. They talked about it against Anthony Joshua having issues in sparring with Daniel Dubois. Anthony Joshua having issues in sparring with Lawrence O'Collie. You know, we've seen, you know, him be rocked by Dylan White. You know, he recovered. And once again, it's a shame I have to keep saying these disclaimers. I understand it's a learning process, and I understand, you know, he still won. I understand that. But pull your head out of your asshole And understand that Joseph Parker must be respected. Also, I like the game that his team played in making sure, that they got a fair deal. He's getting about between 30 and 35%. The last I heard, it was about 33% or so. There is a rematch clause. And obviously, if it's a rematch, he's going to get a bigger percentage. They're confident. This is a fight that actually could have happened, a year ago, a year and a half ago. Because at one point in time, after Anthony Joshua had won that IBF title from Prince Charles Martin, Joseph Parker was the mandatory, but he decided, in order for the fight to be as big as it is today, to go the route to get his own title at WBO, and now we have this mega unification with just one belt left, and that's the Deontay Wilder belt. We're not going to delve too much into the Deontay Wilder situation because he's got to get past Luis Ortiz, just like Joseph Parker has got to get past, Anthony Joshua's got to get past Joseph Parker. Wilder versus Ortiz, I'm going to be at that fight that's happening on March the 3rd in the Barclays Center. Likely going to be talking to Deontay Wilder this week because PBC, Al Heyman, and Showtime are having something big. And I got word that PBC, Al Heyman, and Showtime are having something big in New York the week of Spence versus Peterson. I'm going to be at Spence versus Peterson. For those who don't know, it's January the 14th, 2018, 12:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So meaning this week coming up. And Deontay Wilder should be there and Luis Ortiz, maybe both, to promote, their March the 3rd fight. So we can't really talk about, Joshua and Wilder has to happen and Wilder needs to take this percentage and everything like that. Listen, we understand that Joseph Parker is the A side. We understand that. But one thing for sure is the winner of this fight, they have to fight Deontay Wilder if he beats Luis Ortiz. And if they say, well, we got options, like Eddie Hearn would likely say, we got options, which they do. They have a lot of options. For example, if Joseph Parker or Alexander Povetkin win, they got the Dylan White-Lucas Brown fight out there, the winner of that. They got Alexander Povetkin, who's the WBA mandatory. If David Haye beats Tony Bellew, you got that out there. You got Tyson Fury, even though he's with Frank Warren and there's that political, issue right there, that network issue still. He's got options. To whereas in Deontay Wilder, he does, but not so much. Deontay Wilder's got to beat Luis Ortiz in spectacular fashion because the storyline behind that is, well, if Wilder wins, he'd be the juicer and the boogeyman of the division. If Wilder loses, they're going to say, oh, he's just always been a hype job bum, with almost 40 KOs or 40 bumps. I'm not saying this is what the people are saying, and the people are the most important. But one thing for sure is, I'm sorry, there's a lot of people, a lot of hardcore fans, not the casuals. A lot of hardcore fans understand that Anthony Joshua is not Superman. There are flaws there. For example, I feel that he may be putting on a little bit too much weight. Let's go look at the resume of Joseph Parker first. 24-0 with 18 KOs. Huey Fury, Razan Kandanu, I forgot how to pronounce that name. Andy Ruiz, Alexander Dremenko, Dimitrenko, and Carlos Takam. As you know, him and Anthony Joshua have the same, partner in Carlos Takam. By the way, Luis Ortiz just fought this guy. We're going to talk about the next video in Wilder versus Ortiz video. Let's go look at what I wanted to look at before I confuse myself is Anthony Joshua's weight. Now, he started his career 2013 at about 230 pounds, right? Went to 240. Now, if you look at him, he's coming into the ring at 255 pounds. This is the biggest, it seems like each fight is getting bigger. And I'm not the only one that's talking about this. And we're wondering, how that would hold up against a fighter who's going to be in his face and possibly, have him working more than, a late notice Carlos Takam. Now, I'm not saying that he, was in trouble against Carlos Takam or couldn't beat Carlos Takam. It's just that it makes you wonder, well, what if there's somebody that was training for you? Or what if it's somebody that's going to make you use more energy and may try to play the holding game with him? I just feel he has some stamina issues. That's just my personal opinion. Now, do I feel that Joseph Parker can win? As I said before, hell yeah. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, this is a 50-50 fight. However, Anthony Joshua was more skilled, in my opinion. But this is a 50-50 fight. And Joseph Parker does have some power behind him, and he does have, in my opinion, from what I've seen, better conditioning. More 12-round fights. More fights that have gone longer, better conditioning than an Anthony Joshua. And their team, is very, very confident. Duco and David Higgins and all of them, they're very, very confident. If Joseph Parker, why I keep messing up their names? See? That goes to tell you that I really feel Joseph Parker can win. If Anthony Joshua loses, Matchroom is going to Eddie Hearn would probably shed a tear. You don't think Eddie Hearn and Adam Smith would shed a tear? You don't think they would shed some tears? Who else would shed a tear? I don't know about Johnny Nelson. I know that Eddie Hearn would shed a tear. Adam Smith would shed a tear. Would Tony Bellew shed a tear? Well, no. Whatever the case may be, the press conference is on Monday. Tomorrow or was it on Tuesday? I forgot. But we're going to be there thanks to my colleagues over in the UK, the Sportsmen. As you can see, we've been pumping out a lot of a mixture of content from me and the interviews to make sure that we're keeping you in the loop and to make sure you guys know I'm just not on here just talking and just doing this shit for my health. I use that content that we're getting from these events and these people, these people that I've met and the friends that I've made over the years to make sure you guys understand that, I think that my credibility shouldn't be questioned at this point in time. But hey, man, that's up to you. Please subscribe. As you can see, all the links to my social media have been popping up. We are pumping out 4+ videos a day on average throughout the week. So you can expect about at least 28 videos a week around here. Next week is going to be kind of different because I'm going to be in New York 3 days for Spence versus Peterson. And it's just a host of things coming up. So stay tuned because we're going to have some real good stuff. I'm guaranteeing you from Deontay Wilder and possibly Luis Ortiz and or the teams of both during this upcoming week. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.